Mit
Okay. Boker Tov, everyone. Mar Tov. There is one central theme in Parsha Ta'azinu that Moshe defines the relationship between the Jewish people, Klal Yisrael, and every individual Jew is part of that, and between Kaviochel, the Rabbanu Shalom. And that relationship, Moshe says, is that of a parent to a child. And the complaint that Moshe has recorded in Parshas Hazinu is Bonim lo emun bon. They're children that I cannot trust. I can't give them my checkbook because they are not loyal to me. And Moshe repeats that. He is your father who has brought you into the world. He's your mother that raised you. So why don't you see it? And we see that later reflected in the Navi Yeshayahu, who paraphrases Moshe. Here it says, Hazinu Hashamayim v'adabera v'sishma'or et zimrei fi. Let heaven hear and let the earth. And Yeshaya reversed it. Hazini eretz, let the earth hear it, and then heaven will hear it. But the Navi Yeshaya says the same thing. Bonim gidalti v'romamti. I have raised children. Ve'ein poshu bi, and they're not loyal to me. So I heard a shiur from Rabbi Soloveitchik in Yiddish. He was a great orator, but in Yiddish he was above and beyond. Yiddish is a much more emotional, heartfelt language than English or even in Lashon HaKodesh. It's one of the things that's happened in our time is Yiddish has evaporated pretty much. Even in circles. What? So the shiur was not on Parshas Hazinu, but we're going to put it in. The Rambam says one of the Aseres Advorim, one of the 10 commandments is Kavedet Avicha v'Shimecha. And that is on the side of the Luchos, on the right-hand side of the Luchos as you face them. That's Bein Olam Lamokum. That's between God and man. Like Shabbat, like not taking a false oath and using God's name in vain, like not worshiping idols, by remembering that God took us from Egypt. That's all Bein Olam Lamokum. The other side of the Luchos is Lo Tigno, Lo Tirtzoch, Lo Tinov, Osana Bereacha Et Shoker. That's Bein Olam L'Chavero. Those are so to speak, social mitzvahs. So the question arises, why is Kabed Esavicha Vesimecha a Bein Olam Lamokom? Why isn't it Bein Olam Lachaveira? It's a personal mitzvah. Honor your father, honor your mother. And the Rambam quotes the Gemara that there are specific things that a person has to do. He has to see to it that his parents are clothed, that they have what to eat, that they're taken care of. That's all part of Kabed Esavicha Vesimecha. There's a second facet in the relationship that the Torah establishes for us between parents and children, and that's called Yira, Mora. I don't know how to define that well. There used to be a time when the word awesome meant something. But today, you ask them, how does the ice cream? It's awesome. So it's one of the many words that has lost any meaning. There's a whole list of words. Amazing, right? You ask any teenager, he tells you it's amazing. What's amazing about it? Because amazing doesn't mean anything anymore. Like awesome doesn't mean anything anymore. Generally speaking, the cheapening of language reflects the cheapening of society. So in any event, in the Torah, there's the Yira. You have to somehow have the respectful awe, fear, grandeur of your parents. So the Gemara defines that. You shouldn't sit in their chair. You shouldn't interrupt while they're speaking. You shouldn't correct them publicly. That's all Yira. Now, the Gemara teaches us that if you can be mochel, the parent can say, you don't have to give me kavod. I don't care. You don't have to worry about me. Take care of myself. I have enough money. Don't worry about it. It's not your concern. And av shemochal al kvodo, kvodo mochel. If that is his attitude or her attitude, then the obligation of kavod is not present anymore. Discussion whether Yira is still present. And therefore, the Gemara says it's not a custom that we hear so much. The bracha, Areini kaporas mishkov. I should be a kapora for it. That's part of Yira. What if you don't like your father? It's only treffen via streft. It's not a rare commodity. So that creates a metaphor here of our relationship with the Ribono Shel Olam. Ribono Shel Olam is our father, Avinu Malkeinu, we said over and over again. Avinu over Rachama. Rachim Aleinu Karachim over Alboni. So how do we, that's what Moshe says here. What if the screen is blank? I can hear you. I can't hear you. So the Gemara, Chazal were exquisite in being able to define things. Gemara is a book of values, defines life. So the Gemara says, "Arhechem kibbutz." What's give me an example of honoring your parent. What's the extreme example? So it's interesting. The Gemara brings a story about a non-Jew, not about a Jewish family, a non-Jew. Doma ben Esina. He lived in Ashkelon. Very wealthy man. And a very respected man. And he was so respected that eventually the Romans inducted him into the Senate. He became a Roman senator. And he sat in the Roman Senate. And he had beautiful garments, official garments. It was, he had made it completely. And the Gemara said that he had an old mother that was slightly demented. And one day when he's sitting in the Senate, amongst all the senators, in all of his glory, the old mother bursts into the chamber and she goes up to him and she slaps him in the face and she tears off the imperial toga that he's wearing and she spits in front of him. And he remained impassive. He didn't tell the guards to remove her. He didn't make any comment. He just let it happen. So the Gemara says that somehow is an example of kavod, honor to his mother. So he's willing to undergo this terrible embarrassment, but he's not going to harm his mother. So this is a parable. It's a moshel. Think about it. The Jewish people everyone recognizes them. Speak in front of the United Nations. But there's an old mother that always bursts on the scene. And she rips the toga from him. She slaps him in the face. And he realizes that's his mother. That's what has happened to the Jewish people many times. We just commemorated 49 years from the Yom Kippur War. Yom Kippur War was probably after the Shoah, the greatest shock that the Jewish people experienced in the last century.
And frozen again. I can't hear or see anything.